How do you practice self-love in a way that feels empowering and authentic? My name is Jessica Angeleri, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. And this is the channel where we speak about all things related to sensuality, the feminine, embodiment, and relationships. And today I wanted to speak about different ways that you can start practicing love, practicing self-love. And if you know me and my work, I really like to go deep. So I'm not really here for surface level things or discussions. I really want to get to the core and the truth of, why we are here, and the feminine and our purpose as women. And before we continue, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and drop a comment below. This really helps me to be seen by more women just like you. So if you don't know what to comment, you can just drop a heart. And I also wanted to share with you that my beautiful Divine Feminine course, Embody the Sacred Feminine, is available. It's a self-paced course where you will be diving into different elements and aspects of the feminine and how you can really embody them through different feminine embodiment arts like meditation, like journaling, and of course, movement. And there is one beautiful module in there called Melt Like Honey, where you will dive into this element of love, the feminine heart. And there is a beautiful sensual dance in there where you connect with your womb space and your heart space, and also an inner child healing meditation. So I'll drop the link below for you to check that out. Now let's dive right into it. How do we practice self-love? Also to mention, this is part of a Love Yourself series that I have going on, so make sure you check out my other episodes related to this. I will also be breaking this up into 2 different parts. So this is going to be 5 different ways to practice self-love. And then there will be another episode where I'll be sharing 5 other ways that you can practice self-love. Now, something I wanted to mention was that authentic love goes beyond relationships. It goes beyond the limitations of the ego and personal identity. When we cultivate true, authentic self-love, we cultivate certain values of our womanhood, like compassion and empathy and courage to show up for this love as well. And we start to understand our own journey and others' journey without judgment. We become more centered in our life's purpose and values and in our gifts, and we start to live from the space of groundedness and intention. We unapologetically step into our power. We own and express our needs and boundaries from a place of love, but also from a place of assertiveness. When we truly love ourselves, we stop doing things and trying to prove that we are deserving of love, or that we are good enough, or that we are worthy. We are the embodiment of love, and that is it. You are inherently loved, the love. And when you start to realize this and you embody this, you start to become a vibrational match to the very kind of love that you deserve to receive and attract in your life. So it's time that you start to let go of those illusions that tell you anything else other than you are love. You are in fact love. So let's dive into it. Here are 5 empowering ways for women, for you to start practicing self-love in an authentic way. The first one is to fill your heart space with loving and kind words. It is time right now that you start being aware of how you speak to yourself. Change the words that fill your head, that fill your heart. Your heart knows truth. The way that you speak to yourself matters. Words carry power. Words carry energy. And I'm also not one to say that you should only speak positive words, otherwise you'll only be attracting negative things in your life. Not really, but at the end of the day, you are human, Okay, so we've got to give ourselves some grace as well if we do find ourselves not feeling positive all the time. But you really do have to start getting conscious about how you speak to yourself and the words that you're telling yourself. You have to start noticing that for you. Notice the thoughts and start receiving and start creating a new dialogue with yourself. Create an inner voice of nurturance, of nourishment, kindness, compassion, non-judgment right now, not later, right now. Your truth lies in your heart. So you have to start connecting with this beautiful heart frequency. Take the time to sit in silence without any distractions. And that means as well, not filling up your time, not filling up your space with all these activities and things to do to avoid that inner voice. Now, I know that inner voice can be loud. It can be really loud. And that voice that isn't coming from your heart's truth, it might be coming from old woundings, old patterns, childhood trauma, but that voice that tells you that you're not good enough or not lovable enough or you're not beautiful enough or that you should have done better or you shouldn't have made all those mistakes and that now defines who you are. Be okay with that inner voice that comes up and connect with it. We have to stop dismissing it and then judging it. And being with that also might make you feel uncomfortable, and we have to be okay with that too. So that means sitting with the discomfort and telling yourself, okay, I feel really uncomfortable or anxious or tight. I feel really resistant to this right now. And you know what? That's okay. And just being aware of this is always more profound and more healing as well than just actually resisting it. So sit with that inner voice and then you offer it love. And you might give yourself a nice big warm hug. You might hold your heart. So placing your hands on your heart, closing your eyes and having the courage to be in this moment with your heart, regardless if the feeling is negative or if it's positive. But really sit with that and sit with that with no judgments. Can you do that for yourself? Breathe into this, breathe into your heart, and you offer yourself loving words. You create that dialogue with yourself, with your inner child, that she is very much loved and you are here for her. Forgive her, or you can start inviting in some loving words into the heart and imagining you're breathing that in through your breath. I forgive myself for being so hard on myself. I'm allowed to be imperfect. I'm allowed to make mistakes. Or just simply, I love you. I'm here for you. I forgive you for not being kind to you. You are so beautiful. I know I am loved, even if I had to set those boundaries. But get used to this, regardless if the resistance shows up, and it just takes practice and patience as well. Remember as well that I have a self-love affirmations video for you. So if you find thinking of words to say to yourself, go back to that and repeat those loving words to yourself. And I'll drop the link below for that. Now, this leads me to the next point, and that is to feel your emotions. Recognize the emotions without judgment. When we are judging ourselves, we immediately set up this pattern of resistance and tension. So we come in and then we say, you should do more of this. You should be more of this. Or this is wrong, or you're wrong. But when we start to step into this embodiment of love, things start to change. You stop fighting and you allow yourself to feel what you're actually feeling. Your body then can relax. You give space for her to relax. An act of self-love can be you actually feeling the rage, feeling the sadness that shows up, feeling the grief, feeling the jealousy even, and allowing yourself to feel it rather than dismissing it or avoiding it or judging yourself for feeling that. Give yourself permission to actually feel it. And this is what I believe we're running away from, with distractions, keeping ourselves busy, numbing ourselves to all of this. So then we don't actually have to feel this. But your emotions can be your power and your strength. Once you feel this and sense this emotion, you meet the dense emotion and you see it for what it is. Can you breathe love into this? Can you call in the presence of the mother's heart in a way to love yourself? Can you connect with the great mother's love through your womb space, through your touch, through your breath? Breathe into your womb space, collect the earth, the mother's energy, this beautiful, loving, infinite love of the great mother, and bring it up into your body, into your heart, energetically speaking, of course. We often forget this healing medicine, that we can connect with nature, with the mother. You can connect with your heart, even if it's a breath, a deep breath into the heart. And tell yourself, so use those words, I'm still loved, I am love, even if I'm feeling this hard, dense emotion right now. And then usually what happens is with this presence of love through your breath, we start to melt away this dense feeling. It stops holding onto us, right? So when we bring pleasure into it, we now invite in a new language of love and bliss and peace in the body. Now, this doesn't mean that we're bypassing or ignoring the more dense emotions like frustration or anger or rage or grief or anything else like that. What it means is that we are choosing to see it for what it is, but I am choosing to allow love to enter. I'm choosing to be soft with this. I'm choosing peace, even though I'm feeling this. And I'm choosing this pleasure through my breath or through my loving touch or my loving hold. But you have to consciously choose, what do you want to feel? Remember that you are human, and that growth comes from learning through challenges and through difficult emotions as well. They can often share with us a learning or a message, a learning about, what is this anger showing me? Maybe it's showing me that my boundaries have been crossed. What is this sadness showing me? Maybe that there is a part of me that is dying and I'm allowing for something new and beautiful to emerge through me. And remember, all of this is practice as well. And of course, I'm here to support you in this. You can always book a one-to-one private session with me in Feminine Reconnect, where we really dive into your body. We connect with your womb space, we connect with the heart, and we allow whatever needs to move through us in a very sensual, soft, beautiful, nourishing way. So if that speaks to you, book a call with me. I'd love to have a chat with you. I'll drop the links below. Now, the third way to practice self-love in an empowered and authentic way is to breathe deeply into your heart space. Now, you will notice that some of these points that I am mentioning will overlap with one another, and that's because this work isn't black or white. It's interwoven. This is the work of the feminine. It's this tapestry that interlocks. All these threads, they move through one another, and the feminine works in spirals that we have to honor. She's multi-layered. So take your time to breathe into your heart space and feel the love that you are. Use your breath to expand into this love frequency. And you can see that this breath as well can be an offering to your pain, can be an offering to melt away the hardness, the barriers that we might hold around our heart space and the womb as well. So have a willingness to release whatever is blocking you from really living in harmony with the universe's, the divine or God's energy of love. This is the forever presence of truth that you always can tap into. Now, when you're breathing into your heart space, you can even see this as a texture or a color or a light. But breathe into your heart space. Allow this light, allow this breath to dissolve the pain around your heart and around your womb space. Breathe into it. Take another breath. deepen the breath. So often we just breathe from up here, but we need to really drop down and inward as women. We need to anchor into this abundance of love that we have. Make an effort to bring your awareness to not resisting love, or to notice where you are resisting love with those breaths. Trust that your higher power will always offer you loving energy through your breath. When you inhale, it's like you're taking in this love from life, from the divine itself. And exhale, it's you surrendering into this trust, into the arms of your own lover and the love around you, the love of Mother Earth. So we can invite in a new language to our pain, to the dense emotions through the breath, through this love that flows through you, through this life force, feeling the breath melt into every cell and part of your body, of your being, and melting away any denseness. To me, this is making love. This is connecting with love, breathing through this touch. So feeling where this breath touches your body, and can you allow the breath to melt away that pain? Now, I've also done a self-love meditation when we actually do this and we guide our breath to parts of our body where we are holding tension and resistance. By doing a practice like this through the breath, we are expanding our capacity to love and to hold love as well. The goddess of love within you, she is fierce. She is a fierce force for love. She doesn't lack in love. She is here and present, wanting to be known to you through your breath. All you have to do is anchor in, anchor down from the mind, sink into your heart and see and breathe from your heart space. And this is why I also love the breast massage, because it allows us to deepen our breath and be with our touch and be with our breasts, which are the extension of our hearts. And we can really offer ourselves this beautiful, loving touch, which is so pleasurable and allows us to be present with what's there whilst tapping into and really expanding into this presence of love. Now, the fourth way to practice self-love in an empowered and authentic way is to give yourself permission to go slow. And that also means connecting with your body. So often we are on to the next thing, right? We're looking for the next thing to do on our list and we lose presence. But love is available to us and felt through your intimacy, through your presence. Sometimes we feel like we have to solve everything right now, and then we find ourselves pushing and forcing our way through things. And then we find ourselves getting frustrated, overwhelmed. We might start overthinking. We start to get anxious. And this frustration and this overwhelm are usually sensations, emotions that are signaling to us that it is necessary for us to slow down and that something is out of alignment here, that we've disconnected or disassociated from ourselves, from our body. And it's asking, our soul is calling us back inward to reconnect. So practice the art of slowing down. This allows you as well to know what you need in each moment. It allows you to know yourself deeper and your energy in that moment. You get to be more vulnerable and connected and raw and honest with the messages of your body. This is so essential for cultivating self-love because it brings us back into the present moment. It allows you to truly feel and observe and appreciate yourself and appreciate yourself in the moment. So there is no perfection here. Whatever is here is what matters. It is a fast-paced world, and we often disconnect from our bodies, viewing our bodies just as this tool rather than this sacred vessel, a vessel as it is. So I also know that this kind of slowing down doesn't often come easy for us. It's not always comfortable. In the beginning, when I started to do this work of connecting with myself in deeper ways and really empowering my womanhood, slowing down for me felt really uncomfortable because I was so used to being fast, on the go, on to the next thing. But through slowing down, I learned why I was actually always on the go, why I was dysregulated in my own emotions, and it helped me practice finding my way back home safely again to my body, back to my sense of self. Because for a long time, or maybe most of my life, I should say, I didn't even know who I was. My sense of self didn't actually exist. I was too busy proving myself through the doing, through perfectionism. And the more I thought that I could do, the more I thought that I was enough, that this was going to fill me up. So I had to learn to come back into this state of aliveness, and that was found and awakened through my slowing down, through my connection, through this meeting with what is actually present, with what is alive and here, in the sensations, in the rawness of it all. I learned how to slowly follow the textures within my subtle body that unfolds in each moment, breathing into the subtle movements. And in this, I was able to see the presence of love that I am, in my pure innocence, in my rawness, in my truth, that I didn't need to do another thing to be loved or to feel love. I felt it right here in my being. But that couldn't happen when I was always in my doing and moving fast. So by slowing down, we create space to listen to the body's subtle messages, tuning into her sensations, her emotions. We build that trust with the body. The more you build trust with yourself and your body, the more you feel aliveness, the more you feel pleasure. And then your needs don't go unnoticed. Usually they go unnoticed because we're always rushing. Now, I have done an episode about connecting with the sensations of your body and the importance of this for your body wisdom and body trust. So check that out. I'll drop the link below for that. Slowing down also nurtures a more intimate relationship with your femininity and your sensuality. Sensuality only exists in the slowing down. This is why I love embodiment practices and somatic practices, which helps us to do that, which helps us to connect with the sensations of the body, grounding ourselves in our feminine energy and allowing our feminine to lead us, where we women thrive, where we become radiant and alive. By doing this, we also reinforce self-trust, as I said. It's because you're strengthening your intuitive voice, and that helps you to develop this deep, loving relationship with yourself. So through your embodied practice, self-love then has space. Like you've built this in a sanctuary for it to grow. And that then helps you to shape who you are from that space. You make better decisions because you're more grounded, you're more anchored and centered in yourself. And when you're centered and you feel content with who you are, you then make decisions from that space of the heart that's going to serve your heart. Now, the last point for this episode of part 1. And last way that you can love yourself more deeply is to choose yourself in love every single day. Now, this is a choice. Choosing love is a choice. So can you choose to love yourself exactly the way that you are without changing anything about you? And at the same time, also be humble enough, have the humility to also know that there is places to grow and evolve and to take accountability as well. So that means even if you mess up, even if you say the wrong thing, even if you fall off the horse, even if you set those boundaries and that feels really uncomfortable, you still show up for love and you choose love. no matter what. So can you choose to love yourself? This is a choice. And yes, this is part of the process or the pathway of loving yourself deeply, in being in devotion. We are taught with devotion that it is something that we do outside of ourselves. We do something for someone else rather than for ourselves, like to a child or for a partner. And that's what we feel like, or that's what we've been taught that devotion is. But devotion really is this reverence to your higher self, this woman that you are here to remember, to revive her, to reconnect with her. So when you feel resistance, you tune into devotion. How do I desire to feel from this? Not to be perfect, but start asking yourself, how can I love this part of me? All the parts of me, especially the parts of me maybe that I haven't really liked or appreciated or even accepted. Now, your ego will want you to stay in this space of, no, I have to continue to be better and perfect myself. But your heart and your body will want you to remember this state of love, this truth that, yes, I am here to choose love no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter if my manifestations don't work out, or, the relationship doesn't work out, no matter what, I still choose love. I'm still going to show up in this love. This is you in your power. Remember, it's your human experience that will create limitations around this, or start to make stories around this. And then the head starts to analyze all these things, or we start to tell ourselves that we should be ashamed of ourselves, or that we start to shame ourselves, right? For the things that have happened or the behaviors. But this act of loving yourself means coming into an honest and real place about all the parts of you, especially the parts of you maybe that you don't really like, or you feel like, you don't want others to see. And that can relate to anything, whether that is a fear of using your voice, or maybe it's related to your body, your naked body. Maybe it's related to your shame around your sexuality. We have to come into really choosing love for all of this, choosing love every single day. No matter what has happened in the past, what matters is you and who you are right now in the present moment. When you choose love, you become that. It's a choice. Otherwise, you get stuck and you stay in those old patterns and those old thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable enough. And you then, as you embody this and you be devoted to this love and you practice this with different feminine practices, you start to become the exact frequency of love. And that's how you draw in, that's how you become a magnet to greater love as well. So, which one are you going to start practicing? Which one really stood out to you today in this talk? Remember, I'm here supporting you in this journey of reclamation, of self-discovery, self-mastery of your womanhood, of connecting with the aliveness of you that is love through pleasure, through sensuality. And if this really does speak to you, dive into my course, Embody the Sacred Feminine, or book a private session with me. And if you want to be supported in a group container, know that I have Feminine Remembrance. This is a journey that you don't have to do alone. The journey of really diving into your subconscious, into the woundings, into the pain around the feminine, around the masculine, even the pain that we felt in relationships, the pain of feeling unworthy or not enough. We can move through this through your offering of pleasure, which allows us to come back into this full resource of love from within. So make sure to check out the link for Feminine Remembrance. And my last question for you today is, which one will you choose? Love or fear? Which one are you choosing to tap into? Which one are you declaring and owning? If you are choosing love today, I invite you to write in the comments, love. I want us to really plant that seed within us. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give me a like, and I'll see you again for the next part 2, where I'll be sharing 5 more ways to love yourself. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, go back to my other episode where I have discussed what it means to fully love yourself and to embody this love. Thank you, beautiful. My name is Jessica Angeleri. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so deeply grateful. Bye.